It's day 1,200 in the British establishment's backlash against banking. Beautiful sunny weather here in the city, but some regulatory storm clouds over the banks. With us we have Daniel Schäfer, investment banking correspondent. What's going on, Dan?
Well, essentially what has happened is the Bank of England has brought in a new regime, proposal for a new regime that is going to make life for bankers even tougher. It's three ideas, essentially. The first one, which will already come into law next year, is 7-year clawback of bonuses for bankers that have already been paid out and potentially spent. The second one is 7-year deferral of bonuses for senior managers, i.e. the payment will have to be spread out over at least 7 years. And the third one is the backing of the Bank of England of a proposal to have a new criminal offence for reckless behavior of bankers. And the background to all of this, why they've brought this in, is that 2 years ago we had a parliamentary commission on banking standards that made all these proposals. Some of them have been even tougher than what the Bank of England has brought up now. And they were being made basically in the light of the LIBOR scandal at the time when Barclays had its settlement on allegations over the rigging of the LIBOR interbank lending rate. And at the time there was a lot of discussion about, have banks actually changed behavior and are people being held accountable for what they've done now? And this prompted a political debate that ended up with the end results of these proposals that we're seeing now.
So 3 things to talk about there. In terms of deferral, 7 years is a pretty long time, isn't it? We don't like short-termism, but not many people probably have a 7-year time horizon for most of their plans. How does it compare with what happens internationally?
Yeah. Well, it would be what some say the toughest rules in the world in terms of deferrals, really. In the UK, we currently have 3 to 5 years, but in practice, most banks only have 3-year deferrals. And the same is really true for Europe and the US. Some banks in Europe do have 5-year deferrals, but the standard really is more at 3 years, and certainly in the US and in Asia as well. So what it will mean is that's going to bring UK banks, if you want to put it like that, at a competitive disadvantage compared to US banks and Asian banks, particularly because they are already paying higher bonuses and more cash bonuses than UK banks and European banks.
Just in terms of this issue about clawback, let's role play this. Suppose I'm reckless Eric, the banker. I've had most of my bonus, gone to Las Vegas, blown the lot, had a change of heart and become a teacher on £40,000 a year. How is Megabank going to get back its money if I've spent it?
That's one of the big conundrums with the new rules that are going to come in, is how is it actually going to be enforceable? And there are some huge question marks about this because firstly, one thing that hasn't been solved or there isn't clarity on is, like you said, if a person leaves the bank, maybe moves to another country, how can you enforce it? There's no clarity on that. And then there are other issues, such as, for instance, tax payments. If somebody has paid taxes on a bonus, will he get a tax rebate?
And I think also there's a big question mark over this issue of reckless financial behaviour and a criminal sanction for that. It sounds pretty woolly. Well, it's a fascinating picture, Dan, but I think a lot of uncertainty out there, maybe a bit of a British fudge when you could probably just fine people instead for wrongdoing. But one thing we can be certain about is that there's only one direction for regulation, which is that we're going to have more of it. So thanks very much.